Hi, this is Rosalinda Randall, civility and etiquette expert. Today I'm talking about a trait called humility, being humble. So many people have trouble with that word because immediately you think a doormat, someone who's meek, who has people tell them whatever what to do, and you don't speak up for yourself, you don't defend yourself. And that could be a particular definition of it, but I personally define this trait as a person that is not arrogant. And under that category is knowing your strengths and weaknesses. Weaknesses aren't permanent, neither are our strengths. So if we're aware of those things, we're humble enough to go, yeah, I kind of stink at this, or I could really improve my communication skills with my family or my boyfriend or my coworkers. Those are things that require a little bit of humility to acknowledge and to work on. Another thing is a person who is not always right. If you are the type of person who is always right, you're not going to have a lot of people to want to play with you. The conversation will never go anywhere. If I know that that's going to be the outcome, or you just dig your heels in and because you have to be right, then my likelihood of wanting to hold a conversation with you to find a solution is probably not good. So someone who is always right is not humble, and we can't always be right. We might think it, but sometimes we do have to acknowledge that other people have a different point of view, and it might even be better than ours. Someone who listens is someone who is humble. That really helps you be less quick to judge. If we listen and have some awareness of people, take in their tone of voice, take in their opinions, that could help in a conversation or help you see them completely differently. So again, listening, and also listening before we speak. Sometimes what comes out is we'll end up apologizing for. Speaking of apology, someone who has a little bit of humility can apologize. Anyone really can say, oh, sorry, and add all kinds of justifications and blame as to why that happened. That is not an apology if we start listing things that got us here. Now, if it's a real fact beyond your control, obviously that's different. But a sincere apology is, I'm sorry, and if you can, especially in the workplace or in a relationship, offer a solution or an option that could lessen the likelihood of this happening again. Offer to take responsibility. That's a desirable trait that is not as popular as it used to be, especially in the workplace. Taking responsibility, I did this, how can we fix it? Super simple. But again, it takes a little bit of humility to do that. And then criticism. Wow, that's a big one. None of us really love to be criticized, especially if the delivery is poor or handed off in a really brash manner, depending on who it's from also. Instead of, immediately, sometimes we feel like lashing back out, well, you did this, and, going back to that, that will not resolve anything. When I say take it as a gift, which can be very difficult, is sit with it, whether it's half an hour, whether it's a day or two, and even if you had to discuss it with a trusted person, not someone who's going to back you up and at all times. And maybe there's even a little hint of truth to that. That's a gift, something that you can improve on. Like, wow, that's great. Yeah, the delivery was like a punch in the nose, but hey, this is going to help me anyway. So that is how I define humility. And I happen to think that it's a pretty good trait. Thank you. This is Rosalinda Randall for Ask Rosalinda at rosalindarandall.com. Thank you.